So some people are asking about mammary tumors in guinea pigs, and I thought we would share some of the file pictures that we have of what we've seen. The pictures are extremely graphic, so if you are not someone who's into medical pictures and things like that, then do not watch this video. So the mammary tumor is right here. Some of these can get pretty big. This one's up here. That one's too blurry. Sometimes when they're smaller, they'll pop open and leak from the actual nipple portion, and you'll see blood here and there. Nothing major until the actual nipple turns purple, and that's when they start bleeding more. And this is just another shot of it, and you can see where it's starting to pool the blood here, but it's pushing it out there. And there's another one. This is after mammary tumor surgery. So this little guy had both of his mammary glands removed along with the nipple areas. And the incisions have to go up so high to make sure that they remove all of it. And this is what I was talking about when they start turning purple. Right here, the blood starts building up underneath it. This is the removal of a mammary tumor. And this would be the nipple right here on top. And that's after the nipple's been removed and it gets sutured up. And this is what it looks like afterwards. So some doctors use staples, some of them will use stitches, others will use the glue. It depends on how they have to do it to remove the mammary tumor and how far up it goes. Sometimes they can just remove a small circle, other times they need to make a major incision. It's another big one. This is something you should always be checking on your guinea pigs. All guinea pigs have teats. They have two right at the bottom, right before their genital area. And you always want to make sure that they're not bumpy and that they're always smooth. That one's right there. And that's an easy thing to check on. You see how this one protrudes? So if you're not feeling just the flatness of the stomach with the two little nipples on it, that means something's wrong. And this is after a surgery. This was one of the easier surgeries. Just one little nipple there, and the other one had to be removed. See, and this is in the healing process. And it looks really good. Our vets are amazing with this kind of stuff. This is a tumor burst. So the nipple is right here, but it has already started bursting open by the time we got the guinea pig. And this is just more of the burst. Sometimes we measure it with whatever we have. In this case, it was a tape measure. And then it just goes straight across. So the nipple's right here, and this is where it went ahead and burst. And then you can see his other nipple right there in proximity to the genital area. So that's where you would look at on your guinea pig, and you just want to make sure that other than the raised bump of the nipple, everything else is fairly smooth. That looks like not a nipple that shouldn't be in this folder. And here's another mammary tumor right here, and this one already has the blood building up underneath it. There's another one. The blood building. And these are becoming more and more common. So everybody really needs to just start checking their piggies. And there's just another shot of it. And we're seeing it in girls and boys. This piggy was a mess. But you can see it goes all the way around here and then all the way up. So normal nipple is over here, and this one is already all the way over. And you see how big it gets all the way down into this area right here. And this was another tragic case we dealt with, where everything had just pulled up all the way down. So not only is this blood, but when it starts getting really dark, especially with all this other stuff that's showing on him, there's infection in there too. So when they remove the mammary gland and the tumor or the cyst or the infection or whatever they find in there, sometimes the damage is so great that they can't save the pig. It's why it's so important for people to check their piggies. So the mammary tumor is right here. And this was another case that was really hard for us. Let's see. This is the other side. So this one had just been left and not treated or cared for. And this is a harder set of pictures to look at, so be warned. So the tumor had gone all the way over, and then there's another one right there. And this is just a hot mess. So the mammary tumor had burst here and started infecting inwards, but there's also blood in here, there's another infection, and then there was the mammary tumor over here. And you can see how high that goes up, because this should all be flat here, and it's not, along with bumblefoot and everything else that was wrong. This is the inside of the hole, and this is what made this case really quite tragic. Not only was there a mammary tumor here, and then this giant tumor here, and the infection that filled up all of this, there's also wood bedding, there's hay, and there's all kinds of other stuff stuck inside of this guinea pig that was not taken care of. And this one, of course, was euthanized. Once the extent was found out, there was nothing we could do. There's the other mammary tumor on this side, and then you can see the extent of that one on that side. At this point, the guinea pig already had pain meds on board. That's about all we could do at that point. It was just so much of a mess, and this was really hard. There were also secondary infections up here, plus with the bumblefoot. You can see the hole there, there's a hole there, there's a hole here. It was just a lot. And this is just laying the pig down. You can see where the nails are just a hot mess. It already lost his fur there. And then this whole mass. And this is another one that had gotten to the point where it had filled up with blood and infection and finally burst. And this is what it looks like when it gets burst crazy. The blood can splatter everywhere. It's just one of those things that happens. So down here, you can see where there's puffiness, and you can see where the blood's building here, but that's a whole tumor with infection. This is a little teeny tiny one. You can even hardly see it. But like I said, if you start feeling like right through here, you want it to be smooth. The nipple's not smooth, of course, but the rest of the belly should be. Now you can see it. And this is Latte's crusty nipple. Crusty nipples are common in older females and older males. You can use coconut oil on them to help keep them softer so they don't get so itchy. Latte's nipple that's not crusty, black because she has brown fur there. Okay, that's got to be a Jackie thing. We're going to go with that. Nipples can be different colors. It doesn't have a certain color because of anything. It's just the color their nipple is. But you can tell if it's crusty by feeling it. If it feels crusty, put coconut oil on it. If it doesn't feel crusty, leave it alone. This is another massive tumor. You can get this whole thing right here that's all swollen. There's the tip of the nipple, and then it looks like it goes all the way around. Let's see if we have a second one of that. Yep. So this whole thing. And there's another shot of it. Like, I understand not knowing that your guinea pig has a mammary tumor, but when it hits points like this, there's no way you don't know. And if you want to learn how to check for things like this, just bring your guinea pig in and ask me. And I'll show you. So this one goes all the way over here, and it's all the way around. And there's a top view of it. So this whole mass, just a shame. Oh, didn't miss some pinky tail. Pinky toe. And this mass is right here. I think we have a, there we go. This whole thing. So from here, all the way across, is all part of this mammary mass. So more than likely this one was probably cancerous, looking at the spread of it. A lot of the tumors and the cysts lately have been cancerous. We've been doing pathologies with the vets to try to track what we can with this stuff. We don't know why it's becoming more common, but it is. And then here's a sideways view, well, a front view, but of the side. So the nipple's still here. Mammary gland would be running down, but this one is like so swollen out, goes all the way up and around. And now when you look at the side, you understand that this whole thing is all part of that tumor. So it affects the mammary glands, but it also affects the muscles and the tissue underneath. And in this case, all the way throughout the leg. And there, right there. That's all part of it. And this is another mammary tumor removal afterwards, with the little staples. And most of them do really well after the surgery. Once they start healing up, they're good. And there's another shot of it. Another little bloody nipple. And there's another little one right there. And I guess that's the last one for that. So there you go. Mammary tumors. Lots of fun. Not very messy, yes. But keep an eye on your piggies. Check their mammary glands. Make sure they're not bumpy or lumpy. And if you have any questions, just come in and ask.